So today we have a question, and it is Google doing anything about the usage limits in anti-gravity? It looks like they are, actually. So if you're not familiar, Google recently released a new version of anti-gravity, and this is their platform they've kind of switched it to mostly agent. It's basically a development environment that has added Gemini on top of it. So they took VS Code and then they put Gemini on top of it, and that was Antigravity 1.0 and 1 dot whatever. And now there's a 2.0, which is more agent focused. The interface looks a little different. It looks like this. I don't have anti-gravity on this computer, but these images will do fine. So it's like the new interface looks like this, where the old one looked basically just like VS Code. But anyway, the question, well, what's been happening is since they've switched to the new version, the usage limits have just been really low. And I haven't seen anything published on what the exact numbers are, like this many prompts or this many tokens in 5 hours or in a day, in a week, or whatever. But people have been hitting their limits way faster. And what Google's put out there recently is this is one of the messages, and you can read through this, but basically, they've heard the concerns, and what they're doing is that they're adding it's not really a new model. It's the same model. It's Gemini 3.5 Flash. They're just adding the low thinking level on it. It says in their testing that generated about 45% fewer tokens in medium. Medium's the default, etc. Let me switch over. So this is Gemini documentation about 3.5 Flash. And if I go to the thinking section here, and it says here the new default effort level is medium. And it says default thinking effort level is medium. And this little table here has the different options. This is if you're actually doing it via code. You're not using like Gemini app or anti-gravity. You're actually just coding it. And this gives you the full range of options here. So for thinking levels, you have minimal, low, medium, and high. And again, medium is the default. And with anti-gravity, I think it had medium and high. And like Gemini has, again, medium and I think high. They don't really say what's in Gemini, but either way, they didn't have low or minimal in either of those products. And now with anti-gravity, according to this post at least, they are adding 3.5 Flash low. Again, in theory, on paper, that will generate fewer tokens. You'll have to kind of test it out in practice and see what your experience is. There was another message on here. Yeah, so now if we look at this person asked if there was any testing done. It seems that they're testing on people, and then their response to that was just that they've been testing it internally. They had a blind spot in measuring token usage for simpler tasks, because they're basically focused on doing it for like complex tasks, which kind of makes sense if the way that they're switching these models, and it's coming out every couple of weeks, there's a new model, and they have to make the new model better or no one's going to like it. So it's just like they're probably focusing on like the most complex of complex tasks, and then people are using it for not complex tasks, and then it's using all these tokens. So I guess that makes sense. And then this is the last message in there. And again, you can read through it. This comment basically reiterates what's in the documentation. It's just you should select the thinking level based off of the complexity of the task, right? So medium is best for most tasks, and it's recommended for complex code and agentic use cases. And then high, I mean, basically, and it's kind of cryptic in here, and I don't know how they can really specify it. It's like usually you just pick a starting point. So it's like you pick medium, and depending on what you're doing, you see what kind of output you get. And if the output is good, then use it and enjoy your day. If it's not good, then you try high. And if medium is good and it maybe seems like overkill, or you're just like draining your tokens really quickly, try low and see if it also works on low. And if it does, then you can save tokens and get more uses out of it. But it's kind of a trial and error. It's not like if you're doing, this specific task in Python, blah, 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 then it has to be medium. It's just, these are kind of general statements. So you have to kind of play around with it. You have to sandbox it. You have to iterate. And, this message kind of reflects that. It's just like, for complex tasks, you should use higher effort level. Like, what's a complex task? Well, I don't know. It depends. You have to try something, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, try something else. But either way, yes, Google seems to have responded to a lot of the feedback about the new Antigravity 2.0 limits. And again, when you go into Antigravity, this is what the new interface looks like. You can come in here and then you just select the arrow right here, and there's a drop down for your different models, and there will be a Gemini 3.5 Flash low option now. And if you've been having token issues, I would recommend starting with that. Like, start with 3.5 Flash low and see if you can figure out how to make whatever you're doing work with that model. And if you can, then you get way more usage out of it. According to that message, 45% more usage, which can be pretty significant. But again, you're gonna have to kind of play around with it. Like, they're still figuring it out. People are still figuring it out. And models are changing all the time. Antigravity's changing. Like, everything's changing all the time. So it's like you're gonna have to do some amount of experimentation and just see what works for your use case. There are too many use cases out there for them to just have like sweeping generalizations like this will work for everyone all the time. So plan on just kind of testing and iterating and figuring out what works for you. But either way, you now have multiple thinking level options for Gemini 3.5 Flash and Antigravity. So hopefully that helps with token usage limits if you're running into problems, and we will see you next time.